everybody. Welcome to Aspirants Hub and welcome to this series called The Answer Behind the Rank, where we are learning objective parameters with respect to answer writing. So, till now, we've seen all the objective parameters with respect to answer writing, and we have started with the subject specific approaches. Okay, so this is done, and subject specific approaches we have started. We have completed all the subjects with respect to GS1. From today's video onwards, we will start with the approach for the subjects of GS2. And today we will be seeing the approach for polity, governance, as well as social justice. Clear? Let us get started. See, before talking about the elements specifically, we'll see a few pointers quickly. See, it is easy to find sources and to prepare, especially with respect to GS2 and the three subjects that we talked about. But still, scoring above 100 becomes a little tricky in this paper. What mistakes aspirants usually tend to make is they focus too much on current affairs. But please remember, there should be a balance between current affairs and theory part. Quote good number of current affairs related examples in your paper, but at the same time make sure that you are adequately backing it up with the theory portion. Clear? So next, talking about the elements, see there are some specific elements with respect to GS2 that you'll have to keep in mind. Apart from this, the other elements we have already seen while covering the basic parameters related videos, as well as with while doing GS1 related subjects also we have seen these parameters. So what we will do is, when we are talking about specific elements, I will talk about it a bit in detail. With respect to the other elements, we will quickly skim through. Okay, so first and foremost, please remember that always begin with constitutional articles, especially in the polity segment. Okay, so if you start with constitutional references, it shows that you are very well aware with respect to the principles of the constitution. And we'll take one example here. So after seeing this example with a question, I want to convey one more specific thing. So we'll do that. Okay, see, the question says the local self-government system in India has not proved to be effective instrument of governance. Critically examine the statement and give your views to improve the situation. So the main keyword in this question is local self-government, and with respect to local self-government, we'll have to write an introduction. Now when you see the introduction, it says 73rd and 74th amendments to the constitution established local self-government in India. Some important articles pertaining to local government are 243A, that is the Gram Sabha, 243B, Panchayats, 243G, and 243W, that is powers and responsibilities of panchayats and municipalities, 243ZD and ZE, district and metropolitan planning committee. See, when you have a look at this question, we understood the main keyword, and based on the main keyword we started writing. The first and the foremost thing that we wrote was these amendments, 73rd and 74th amendment, because they are something non-negotiable that you will have to write. But if you had just stopped after writing 73rd and 74th amendments establish the local self-government in India, it would be a very bird's eye view, like a very broader aspect you would have covered, not a very specific aspect. So in this introduction, if you further read the articles, specific articles with respect to Gram Sabha, Panchayats, and then powers of municipalities, and then district committee, metropolitan planning committee, etc., are mentioned. So this is what I wanted to tell. Don't just look at the broader picture, always make sure that you add specific elements as well. Okay, this shows your the depth of awareness regarding the constitutional elements. So always make sure, and this will give you an extra edge also in your paper. Okay, next is, we already know, presenting both sides of the issue, that is pros and cons, positives, negatives, or arguments like for and against. Then use of subheadings. So when you have a question, go through it properly, divide it into subheadings so that the demand of the question is better addressed. We'll not take this example because we've already covered these subheadings part multiple times. Please pause the video, go through this question, and try to break it into proper subheadings. Here I have mentioned all the subheadings for you. Again, pause the video and go through this. Next thing is adding value addition pointers. So always make sure that data statistics are properly quoted in the paper. For example, especially in the social justice segment, like a question on health is asked, health is in bad shape, then you can quote the data on infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, etc., citing reports like Transparency International report for corruption. If you want to talk about education, quoting this ACER report. Okay, so please keep these things in mind. Next is mentioning of Supreme Court judgments or your case laws. Very, very important. So see, make a list of these specific elements. Whenever you are sitting to write questions on polity or attempting a polity based test series or GS2 based test series, then these are the things that you will first try to incorporate in your answers. Okay, then it becomes very easy. If you don't have a list or if you don't have these parameters in your mind, then while writing your answers you might not be able to incorporate all the specific elements in your paper. So that is why having this list before writing the questions itself, knowing what are the specific things you are going to incorporate become makes your work very, very easy. Okay, then recommendations of committees and commissions. So committees and current affairs. Okay, you will get, see, if particular topic is a news, then there'll be some committee set up to provide a report on that matter or to carry out investigation or something like that. So those committees with respect to current affairs, plus the committees that we have in our book, for example, the first ARC, second ARC, Sarkaria Commission, Law Commission reports. So all these first, second ARC, Sarkaria Commission, all these are old committees or commissions. They have provided their reports. So you can quote that in your paper. Law Commission reports, these are also there in current affairs. So you can extract pointers from that and quote it in your answers. Clear? Yes. Last part is illustrations and diagrams. See, it might seem like you cannot add diagrams, especially in a GS2 paper, but you can add for certain topics. You can make these diagrams and use diagrams only when it is really adding value to your answers, especially in this particular segment. Simply don't just because you want to bring in diagrams, don't draw diagrams for that purpose. So it should add value, plus you should also be able to express more content in less time. Now if you pause and have a look at the video, so this video conveys everything before GST how the framework was, and after GST how the framework turned out to be. So it is something really adding value to your answers, right? So think of such diagrams and draw them in the paper. Clear? So with this we've seen all the elements with respect to GS2, especially polity, social justice and governance. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much. All the very best.